What's up, sons? It's Blind Run with Son of a Tech once again, and today we're going to be covering how to mine Firo on Windows 10 with AMD and Nvidia GPUs. Now, this one can be a little bit more tricky than others because essentially you're going to have to be aware of what kind of GPU you have in your system, whether it's an Nvidia or an AMD. We'll go over on how you can check that out here as well, right after a word from our sponsor. A quick note about today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is a trading platform. I do not offer trading advice, etc., and this is not financial advice. You should be clear that there are a couple of options within, of course, this particular trading platform that can be especially risky. Specifically, there is leverage and margin trading. Both of these things can result in your initial investment being lost. I want to make that very clear before this runs so that if anybody is new to cryptocurrency, they understand the risks. So without further ado, once again, thanks so much for PrimeXBT being a long-term sponsor. And for those that have utilized the service and found success, congratulations to you. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. At this point, most of you should be familiar with today's sponsor, PrimeXBT. As such, they want me to take this time to provide a short update on the PrimeXBT platform. If you remember, they have a fantastic copy trading module where you can follow the strategies of established traders. There has been massive volatility in the market recently, but you can find traders that make money on both sides of the market and follow their strategies. It doesn't matter if the market is going up or down, there are always opportunities. Pay attention to the descriptors. For example, if the word short is contained within the name, it's likely the trader is on the bearish side of the market, and during a falling market, it's better to follow a strategy where the trader leans towards trading bear markets. Register an account with PrimeXBT. Take a look and do your own research. The platform contains many statistics to help determine which trader suits your style, but ultimately it's your decision on how you invest. Remember, any form of investing comes with significant risks, so do your own research. Use promo code SONOFATECH at sign up for a 50% bonus. Welcome back. So today we're talking about mining Firo. Firo was also known as zcoin in the past, and some things have changed. Later in the week, we will be doing a WTF is Firo, but today we're just going to be talking about mining. So briefly, real quick, the first thing that we'll need to do, of course, is set up a wallet. So you have a few wallet options, and we're going to kind of talk about this a little bit more at length, primarily due to the fact that there are a lot of different options. You have, of course, your base wallets that are going to have the highest security option as the QT wallet, and then you have the Electron wallet and Electrum. We've covered those in other cryptocurrencies in the past, as far as the Electron and Electrum. And so if you already have those installed, you can grab your address from there and generate it. Now, if you want to do the QT wallet, that's going to be fine. And once again, because of the higher security, I definitely recommend it, but it really depends on what you're doing with your crypto or your Firo in particular. Now, Firo also has integration with Binance Smart Chain as well as with Ethereum. So when you're really picking a wallet, you want to consider wallets that are going to allow you to interact with them. Now, currently, unfortunately, the only wallet that really will interact with the Binance Smart Chain seamlessly for you to go ahead and bridge over is going to be the Trust wallet, as far as I can tell. Now, if you guys have a different wallet that does allow you to bridge over from the Firo network to the Binance Smart Chain, please let me know in the comment section below. So if you're looking to basically bridge straight over from Firo to Binance Smart Chain, definitely check out the Trust wallet. If you would like a guide on the Trust wallet, please let me know in the comment section below, and we will try to provide that guide. And once again, just to clarify here, this is basically being able to take the Firo that you've mined from the Firo network and move it over to the Binance Smart Chain network. Now, some geographical locations might not support Binance, and you may have to use a different method. And we will also be trying to cover that with Ethereum. However, at this time, I am still working with the Discord members, etc., with Firo to go ahead and figure out exactly how that process would look. Needless to say, at this point regarding wallets for Firo, because there are so many options, we will have to spread out a few different guides over time to get you guys familiar with the entire ecosystem. This is not a negative thing for Firo at all. It's just a matter of time and being able to cover everything in the video. So today we're just going to be covering mining. And when it comes to mining, we just need to generate a wallet address. Now, because Binance does support it, if you have Binance, you can always go into Binance, search for your Firo wallet address, copy that address and use that address in this guide. Or you can also use something like Bittrex, which is also an exchange that is supported by Firo. For today, though, we're going to use the Garda wallet because the Garda wallet has a web wallet that will make this guide simple. So we're going to go ahead and click over to the Garda online web wallet, and then we're going to go ahead and click create wallet. Now, the great thing about the Garda wallet is that you do have the ability to add it to your mobile devices as well as a desktop app and a Chrome web extension that will also work in the Brave browser or any Chromium browser. So once you've clicked it, you're going to go ahead and click the create new wallet, and you'll create a password. Now down here it is specifying that your private keys are protected with a AES 256 encryption, in case you were wondering. This password is essentially like the password you use to access your MetaMask wallet once it has already been imported into your plugin. So for this case, just create a password. I prefer that you randomly generate it from something like random.org or your password manager. You can then say you've written it down and it will go ahead and generate the wallet. You'll see it creating BTC wallet, DCR wallet, DGB wallet, so on. Once this is complete, we will continue. Alrighty, so at this point it will have you download your backup. Now what this is going to be is your seed phrases, etc. So you're going to want to click download backup, and then it should go ahead and prompt up here for the download of the backup. I'm going to go ahead and delete the rest of these real quick so we don't lose it as we were doing testing earlier. And we're going to go ahead and click save. We're going to go ahead and say yes, replace. Then you can show in folder and double click, and this would essentially be your backup. This is what you would need to use to basically recover your wallet. Take this and place it in a secure location. This could be anything like a USB drive that you've encrypted, or something along the lines of the Nord Locker, which we've talked about in the past. Now, anything that is off the internet is going to be the safest. So an encrypted USB drive will be the safest. And then if you just want access to transfer it between machines, and you're going to be transferring it from your home network to another network, your parents' network, whatever that is, you really want to focus on, at that point, using something that's encrypted. I would still move over the USB drive, but if you really need to, there are encrypted cloud solutions like Nord Locker, so that's why I mention it. Okay, so at this point, we are ready to move forward with the mining tutorial. We're going to come up here in our Garda wallet and we're going to search for Firo. We're going to go ahead and click the add button for Firo, and then there will be another backup for the Firo wallet. At this point, you can click Firo and then your wallet address will be displayed. Now there is an in-wallet exchange as well that you can utilize, and there's send and request. Now, the reason you guys probably saw here that we had the NordVPN downloaded, that was just so I could even get to the Binance Smart Chain to show you that this was an option. It's not something that we are currently using, but I like to use those just to make sure that everybody's aware of all of the options, because this is an international audience for this channel. All right, so from here, we need to go ahead and set up the mining. So we're going to go ahead and be using 2 miners today, and 2 miners will have all of your essentially servers listed out here, including difficulty. You want to pick one that has the best ping to your geographical location. So whether that's Europe, USA, or Asia, you will follow accordingly. So the next step is going to be downloading the miners. For AMD today, we are going to be using Team Red Miner version 0.8.3. Now, currently, it's important to note that the algorithm does not favor AMD at all. So if you're looking at mining with AMD, you might want to check out a different algorithm. My understanding here is, though, while MTP right now is not AMD friendly, the Firo team is apparently working on a switch to Prog PAL. If that happens, we'll have to update the how to mine video, etc. Just keep in mind that AMD is not going to function as well as Nvidia for this particular algorithm, but we'll still show you how. So we're going to go ahead and click the download for the WinZip and save it. And then we're going to go ahead and click the up arrow and click show in folder. In some cases, if you're using an Edge or a Chrome browser, it will flag it as a potential risk. You will have to click the ellipses and say keep anyways. Another note about this is that if you're on Windows 10, you will also probably have the next step go ahead and flag it as a virus within Windows Defender or other antiviruses. There are ways to essentially add exceptions, and you will need to add an exception for the miner before extracting it. Or another option is sometimes what I'll do is just go ahead and right click and say 7-zip and extract here. If it's the built-in Windows, you can just right click and say extract all. And then you can go ahead and add this folder to your exception and then re-extract. You will need to do the re-extraction because otherwise your executable will be deleted by the antivirus before you can run it. If you try to run the miner and it says essentially unable to run the miner and executable is missing, something along those lines, and you come into this folder and the executable is missing, then you know exactly what went wrong there, and you'll have to go ahead and check your antivirus. This is also why that we don't recommend doing anything on your personal PC with personal or financial information attached to it. This particular PC is a gaming PC that does have my video games and some video game accounts attached to it, but that's also why in my Steam library, etc., we don't use anything but PayPal, and we force a purchase verification every single time. That way I can still do my gaming testing and mining testing on this test bench and be all happy. I just want to make that clear. Please do not install miners on anything that has any sensitive information on it. This is also going to be an important note because what you need to understand is that pretty much all miners outside of something like NiceHash at this time, and specifically only NiceHash's Ethereum miner, the Excavator, has been signed. There were some issues previously with people like Claymore, who were miner developers, that kind of disappeared once they went ahead and signed their application. This was the early days of mining. A lot of things are changing. It is probably getting to the point to where miners can start registering their applications without fear of repercussions. I don't know, but at this point, that's kind of some conjecture and backstory to why this happens. Because it's unsigned, if you download from an invalid area, something that's not GitHub directly linked to their releases, or a direct link from their Bitcoin talk thread, it's possible they could be injected with other suspicious applications or malware. And there will be no way for you to detect that malware because you have added the exception for the miner. This is why it's kind of still, crypto is a very dangerous thing to be playing around with, and you need to be careful when using it. All right, so at this point, you are going to be looking for the MTP bat file. So it'll be start_mtp.bat. You can right click and say edit. And at this point, you will scroll down and essentially find the example. Now, this example will work because it's not commented out, so we can edit within this. So at this point, what we want to do is go back to the two miners, and we want to find the server that is closest to us. And then for specifically, if it's going to be MRR or GPU. I think everybody's going to be GPU at this point, so we are going to go ahead and do a Control-C on that one. Or you can right-click and say copy. You're going to go back to your notepad, and you're going to paste that into this spot right here after the -O, making sure there's still a space before the O and after the address. If there's any more spaces or a space is missing, make sure you correct that. The -U switch is what you will put in for your address. So we're going to go back to our Garda wallet, and we're going to go ahead and click the wallet address to copy it to clipboard. At this point, we will go back to our notepad. We will highlight the sample wallet address, and then we will say Control-V to add in our wallet address that we want to mine to. At this point, you can leave everything else the same, and you can go ahead and click File, Save, or you can do Control-S. Either way will save the batch file. At this point for AMD, you are set to go, and you will just double click the batch file. Alrighty, so we actually made a mistake here when we were copying the address over, and we need to have the stratum plus TCP : / in the batch file. One thing that I wanted to note is that if you double click and it just goes away, one thing you can do is add the pause to the batch script and then save again, and then go back and run the batch file. One of the things is I wanted to leave this in here so you guys can see that at this point it says only stratum plus TCP and stratum plus SSL URLs are supported. It should give you some sort of error to start troubleshooting. So this was a great opportunity to give you guys a little bit of a tip on troubleshooting. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and make sure that we copy the stratum portion of this, and then go back to our batch file and paste that in front of our address. And then once again, we'll do Control-S or File and Save to save the batch file, and then double click to start mining. In my particular case, we do have the Crossfire auto link in the registry because we are running our multi-GPUs or our AMD stuff in that currently. You can fix that with their command. I am not going to do that now, but that is a warning because that is in the registry. I really want to keep it because I game on this PC, but just an idea. And then you're just going to wait and then confirm that it starts to mine. As you can see here, we're getting 5.8 mega hash a second, and it is up and running. You can see that it's connecting to the pool and that everything is basically functioning as expected. So we're going to go ahead and leave that running, and we're going to move on to Nvidia for the Nvidia users. So at this point, what we are going to do is head on over to our T-Rex miner. Now, T-Rex, we are getting the download directly from their bitcointalk.org, and this will be linked down in the description, so you guys can head on over to the correct download and try to avoid any malware. We're going to be looking for the latest version, and we are going to go ahead and look for the Windows version in this case. We're going to click it and click Save. Once it has been saved, we're going to click the up arrow and click Show in Folder, keeping in mind that if your browser has flagged it, you'll need to say Keep and Keep anyways. We're going to go ahead and create a new folder because this doesn't extract itself to its own separate folder. So we're going to name it T-Rex and just drag that file down into here, and then go in here and right click and say 7-zip extract here. Another option is if you're using the built-in Windows that you would right click and say extract all. And then this one is special because what we have here is no batch file essentially for MTP as an example. So we're going to have to create our own. What I do here is just go ahead and right click a random batch file and say copy, and then I right click again and say paste, and that'll give us a name that it just says -copy. I will click in to rename it, and we will rename it Firo. At this point, we're going to right click it and say edit, and then we will need to change the algorithm denoted by the -A switch, and we will change that to MTP. We will then go ahead and grab the address from two miners once again, making sure that we include the stratum this time. And so we're just going to go ahead and copy that out. So we are going to copy it from the US actually first. We're just going to paste it after the stratum. And then after the -U, which is the switch for the wallet, we'll once again go back to our Garda. We will click the address to copy it to clipboard, go back to our notepad and paste it into here. You can set your email and rig name here if you prefer. You would put your email in after this, and you really don't have to if you don't want to. It's up to you. And then you would just do Control S or File Save, and then we are ready to start the T-Rex miner for our GTX 1066 gigabytes. So we're going to go ahead and double click this, and we will go through and confirm that it is working. If you run into an error, once again, you can always add pause to the end of the batch file so that it will pause and display the error before automatically closing. Alrighty, so now you can see that it has confirmed and started mining at 1.7 megahash a second. And we are going to go ahead and show you guys how to look at all your stats on the pool. So at this point, we need to go back to our Brave browser and head back on over to two miners. At this point, you will have a section for your wallet address. You will go back to your Garda wallet, click the wallet address to copy to clipboard, and then come over and paste that into your wallet address search, and then click search. At this point, what it will show you is your current hash rate, your average hash rate, and then you also have unconfirmed balance, unpaid balance, total paid, and last 24 hours reward with your round shares, and then obviously the estimated if it finds a block reward. So here's how you read this. Unconfirmed balance is essentially what has been mined and not confirmed yet. Unpaid balance is what has been confirmed but not paid out to your wallet yet. And then total paid means you should see it in your Garda wallet. For this particular pool, what you have here is a 0.1 Firo minimum payout. So back on your wallet, you would need to have an unpaid balance of 0.1 before it will be paid out to your wallet. And that's just something I wanted to clarify. Finally, if you go ahead and take a look here, it does say that only GPUs with at least 6 gigabytes of memory are able to mine. And so currently I did say in the WTF that is coming up later that I would confirm this. And this does appear to be confirmed at this time. That may change with, of course, the Prog POW that is kind of rumored here. But once again, that's not verified. And when I can verify it, we will let you guys know. So once you have some Firo in your wallet, you can always send it out or exchange it. It's probably going to be easiest to exchange it within the wallet to something that is easier to swap out for your geographical location, just depending on what that is. And then I will want to follow this up with bridge guides for both Ethereum and, of course, Binance Smart Chain. So look for those in the near future. I hope this video was helpful and you finally learned how to mine some Firo with a better idea of all the options that are going to be available to you for swapping and wallets, etc. Like I said, because there are so many options, there's plenty of content that we can do following this up. Let me know what your favorite piece of content would be down in the description below. Keeping in mind that for the Binance Smart Chain, because I am located in the US, I will either need to find somebody to assist with that or use essentially some sort of VPN to do a sample, and then maybe we can send it out from there as a giveaway. I need to check on what all the regulations around that would be. Thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next Tuesday. If you enjoyed this content, you can watch more by clicking this playlist up here, or go ahead and subscribe.